Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys a few tips on how you can stay healthy, in routine, and sane during this quarantine. I will be the first to admit that I did not think we would be in quarantine this long. And because of that, I have completely hopped off the healthy eating train. My routine is no longer. Basically, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this. We thought that quarantine was maybe gonna be a month or so. And so we kind of lost track of our healthy eating and our schedules because we're like, it's fine, the world will go back to normal. I'll start eating healthy again, working out when all this is over, and it's not over. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple tips that I have been implementing in my life the past week or two, just trying to get back into a normal schedule, starting to eat healthy again, and trying to do things to just keep myself as sane as possible. But before we get started, make sure to click subscribe down below because it really supports my channel, and give this video a thumbs up so that I know you like videos like this. So tip number one is to make a to-do list every day, every week, every month, just whenever you can. If you guys didn't know, I have a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and I am working from home pretty much full time. I go into the office once or twice a week, but other than that, I'm still working from home. And I've always done all of my YouTube stuff on my own time, but now putting work stuff on top of that in my home, it's a lot for me to take in mentally and very easy for me to get disorganized. So every single Monday morning, I create two different to-do lists. I make one for my work, which is like actually spelling out each individual thing that I'm going to get done for work and report to my boss about and things like that. And then my other to-do list is just my personal like home life to-do list, like clean the toilet, go to the post office, whatever I need to do at home. So I'm pretty much just constantly editing my to-do list. I make it once and then just like edit it throughout the week. If you're just kind of doing things one at a time and getting each individual item done, you might forget a lot of things that you need to do. It's so easy to get disorganized, especially if you are doing a full 40-hour-a-week full-time job from home. There's probably a lot of things that you need to do for work that you're gonna forget if you're not actually in the office. So I think that to-do lists are super helpful, whether you're working from home and you're creating that kind of to-do list, or you are just at home and have things that you need to get done around the house. It is so helpful, and honestly, it makes me feel so much less stressed because I know all the things that I need to do. I know that I'm not forgetting anything because all of it is written out right there in front of me. It also keeps me busy and helps me feel more purposeful. I just know that I need to get all these things done versus just sitting on my couch watching TV saying, all right, so today in quarantine, I have nothing to do, when actually I have this entire list of things that I need to do. So it just gives me a little bit more of a purpose in this quarantine. All right, so let's talk about healthy eating. I cannot think of a single day during this quarantine that I have not had a treat or a full-on cheat day. And I think a big part of why I haven't been eating healthy is that now that I am home all day long, I think, oh, I can just make a meal from scratch every single meal and this will be so great. My meals will be so fresh and delicious. Newsflash, that didn't happen. The problem with thinking that way is that I don't think about going to eat lunch until I'm hungry. So when I'm ready for a meal and I'm hungry and I go to the kitchen, I want to eat like right now. So that brings me to my next point, which is meal prep. I think it is still very crucial to do meal prep for the week, not as intensely as that you would do it for a full-time job. It doesn't have to be like sectioned out in meals. You can still do meal prep and prep ingredients separately, or side dishes or main dishes. You don't have to actually put them together. So that's what I've started doing. I'll just do like a huge batch of roasted sweet potatoes and then I have a healthy side dish ready to go. Or I'll do a sheet pan of a bunch of chicken breast and then I have a bunch of chicken that's ready to go. So I guess it's more like food prep instead of meal prep because you're not prepping a individual packaged meal. But I personally just like prepping all separates and then I can assemble them here at home. So I just finished making my favorite zucchini bean salad. I haven't made this in so long, so I'm so excited about it. It is seriously the simplest salad ever. It's literally just zucchinis, onions, kidney beans, and balsamic vinegar. But this was so quick to make. It honestly took under 10 minutes. And now I have a perfect snack or side dish for the rest of the week. This has saved my life so much because now I have all these prepped healthy foods in the fridge, and I'm definitely gonna be making a lot more homemade healthy desserts instead of store-bought cookies. I think a lot of people can agree with me in that your sense of time is just gone. I mean, what day is it? Is it Tuesday, Saturday, 9 a.m., 2 p.m.? I just don't know anymore. And because of that, my eating schedule is just completely out of whack. It is nothing like it used to be. Now, sometimes I eat breakfast at 6 a.m., sometimes 8, sometimes 10. Lunch is usually like between like 12 and 3 o'clock. Dinner is like after 8 p.m. This is not me. Which brings me to tip number 3, and that is setting meal timers. If you guys are like me and just have completely lost your sense of time, this is gonna be so helpful for you. I personally like to eat 3 big meals a day, so I set 3 timers throughout the day. So my first meal is at 8:30, my lunch is at 12, and my dinner is at like 6 p.m. But if you like to have 4 meals throughout the day, you can set 4 timers, or maybe you can set 5 timers and have 3 meals and 2 snacks. But this way, you know that a timer will go off when it is time to eat your lunch or your snack, and you're not just mindlessly snacking and eating throughout the entire day. This will definitely help you regain a sense of time and also just get you back into a normal daytime routine with having meals at the same time every day. All right, so let's talk about workouts. I am gonna admit I miss the gym, and the thing that I miss the most about the gym is that it's away from home. It's a separate entity that I go to escape, I go to do my workout, and then I go home. Combining home and working out for me is just mentally difficult. It's really hard for me to separate the spaces and the sense of time in my head. I used to just go to the gym every single day after work. That was my routine, and then occasionally on the weekends I would just go first thing in the morning. But now I've been coming up with so many excuses of why I can't work out. I'm like, oh, I just showered today, so I don't want to get my hair all dirty. Or, oh, it's already 3 p.m. I should have done it in the morning. Let me just do it tomorrow. And I think I was thinking these thoughts because I was picturing a workout as this super hard, sweaty, shredding workout, but that doesn't have to be every single workout. I was also picturing my workouts that I did at the gym, and I'm like, oh, well, if I work out at home, it's gonna be at least 45 minutes to an hour long, but it doesn't have to be. That was definitely what stopped me from doing workouts at home at first, but now I have completely changed my mindset into what a home workout is. Now I'll try to do at least 1 intense HIIT session per week, which is like 20 to 25 minutes long, and those kill me. Like, I am sweating, dying after those workouts, and I feel so good about myself, but I don't need to do that every single day, so I just do that once a week, and then throughout the week I'll just do a bunch of smaller muscle building workouts. So yesterday I did a lower body day, and I think it was like 35 minutes, and my butt is killer today. She is throbbing. Like, I need a foam roller at home because that was intense. I also do have a set of 8-pound dumbbells, so I can do arm workouts here at home. My arm workouts are probably like 20 to 25 minutes. I am so much more likely to work out now knowing that my workout doesn't have to be 45 minutes to an hour and that I don't have to sweat intensely every single time. Even if you just do a 10-minute ab session that day, that is still a workout that you did. You are still moving your body in some way, and that's what really counts. Speaking of moving your body in some way, this takes me to my next point, which is step outside at some point during the day. There have been multiple days in quarantine where I have not stepped foot out of my apartment, and those days I truly lose track of time. I'm like, where did the day go? Did the sun even come up? I'm not sure. Stepping outside at least once a day just kind of like reminds me that the world is still here. We will come back to it eventually. I know I cannot speak for everyone because my sister just got snow the other day, but right now it's beautiful out in Arizona. But no matter where you live, it is so important to just step outside of your door at least once a day. Colin and I have been going on walks around our complex since we live in a fairly large complex. Before things got too serious, we were going for walks around the park, or I occasionally will take my bike out and go on a bike ride. If we're not feeling up for a walk or actually walking around, since it's actually getting pretty hot here now, it's like 95. Sometimes I'll just take my laptop for work out on my patio, and I'll just sit in my patio chair and do some work. There are so many different options on what you can do and how you step outside depending on your configuration. Even if that just means going to check your mailbox every single day, even if you know you don't have mail, just go and check it. As long as you're 6 feet away from your neighbor, you're fine. Something that's been keeping both Colin and I sane during this quarantine is planning little date nights. Either the night before or the morning of, Colin and I will just kind of like talk about what we're doing that day. And one of us will say, hey, at 6 p.m., do you want to open a bottle of wine and watch that movie that we wanted to watch? Or we can make this delicious dinner together, and then we can play dominoes. We just like to plan our date nights ahead of time since there isn't really anything separating the day really. And it's something other than just plopping down on the couch next to somebody and turning on the TV. But you don't need to have a significant other to do this. You can do this with whoever you are quarantining with. If you're quarantining with a roommate or your best friend, you can plan bestie date nights, which honestly I would think is more fun because Colin totally does not want to paint his nails and do face masks. So that would be really fun if you have a roommate that you can do that with. But also, if you live by yourself, this is a great time to catch up with those friends that you haven't talked to in a while, or your family or other friends that are nearby. Pretty much anybody everybody. I've seen so many people plan bestie nights or date nights over video call, and it is so much fun. I catch up with a different friend over FaceTime every single week, and it is so nice to stay in touch with all my friends since I did recently move to Arizona, so I don't have like any friends here basically. And I've also been keeping in really good contact with my family. I talk to at least one of my family members every single week, so I love doing that as well. So even if you're not living with someone, you can still schedule virtual hangouts, which is super fun as well. And honestly, sometimes that's even more fun because you haven't talked to that person in a long time, so it's really just nice to catch up with them. But having little date nights with Colin has definitely helped keep me sane. This next tip isn't really an issue that I personally have had, but I'm sure other people are dealing with it because Colin is suffering, and that is your sleep schedule. Especially with working from home, I'm sure so many people are just staying up super late because they can, because they don't technically have to wake up at a certain time anymore. Having a good sleep schedule is so important, and the reason that I haven't had this issue really is because for some reason my internal clock is just like set and she's never changing. I go to bed at 10 p.m. every single night and I wake up between 6 or 7 every single morning, and I can't change that. I try to stay up late, I can't do it. I try to wake up later, I can't do it. So I guess I'm really lucky in that aspect, but sometimes I want to stay up late and I can't. But if your sleeping schedule has become all out of whack ever since all this happened, I definitely suggest setting a timer for yourself in the morning. It doesn't have to be the exact same time that you would have woken up if you were going to your 9 to 5 job. Even though I naturally wake up between 6 and 7, I still set an alarm for myself at 7:30 because that's the time that, like, okay, even if you are sleeping in that day, you are going to wake up at 7:30 at the latest, just to make sure that I am getting up and moving and still keeping a very regular sleep schedule. And maybe waking up isn't your problem, but you're bad at going to sleep at a normal time, then start setting an alarm for when you need to go to bed. You can even just set one at 30 minutes before you actually want to go to bed, and that way you know it's time to start getting ready. If you are tired throughout the day and feel like you don't have any energy, or you're taking naps in the middle of the afternoon, those are definitely signs that you need to get on a regular sleeping schedule. My last tip for you guys is to set a goal for yourself to achieve by the end of this quarantine. The fun part about this challenge is we don't know when quarantine's gonna end. It could be 2 weeks from now, it could be 2 months from now. Okay, I really hope it's not 2 months from now. But the fun part about not knowing when quarantine is gonna end is that you're much more motivated to finish that goal because you don't actually know how much time you have to achieve it. And that goal could be anything. It could be to get your sleeping schedule on track. It could be to drink more water throughout the day. It could be to go on a daily walk. My goal by the end of this quarantine is to save more money because I have been online shopping so much since this started because I'm just so bored. I just surf on my computer all day long and I see all these ads and I'm like, well, I can't go to the mall, so I might as well go online shopping, which is a really bad habit. And honestly, my packages are taking forever, so I at least told myself that I'm not allowed to buy anything until I get all of the packages that I'm still waiting on. So comment of the day, comment down below what your goal is to achieve by the end of this quarantine. I want to know. So those are all my tips for you guys. I hope these help you during the remainder of our quarantine. This has definitely lasted way longer than I thought it was, and it's time to get back on track, y'all. As always, if you guys have any video recommendations or anything you want to see from me, please leave it down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week in another video. Bye!